chance, New Zealand, they've scored! New Zealand lead!
Wood waits, Wood scores! Oh, that is stunning! How about the strength and the poise from the big man?
Oh, beautiful variety, superb goal, crowning a brilliant week for New Zealand.
Chance, goal! Goal, New Zealand! Carmichael! Great start for New Zealand. Stephen Carmichael. Carmichael has a hat-trick.
There'd be such jubilation for New Zealand if they could just find a goal.
The ball is good, and the goal is good! New Zealand incredibly have drawn.
I remember we were just running towards the fans, and we got closer to the edge, and there was sort of like a ditch a couple metres down, and then everyone was starting to fall in, and people had to pull themselves back.
What a moment for the Kiwis!
If you haven't sort of had that moment where you get goosebumps everywhere, it's hard to describe, but you know, it's the best feeling in life, and you know, I was fortunate enough to do it.
Beyond football is about repositioning football in this country. It's a chance to show Kiwis just what they're missing in terms of football. Football's a global game. We've done fantastically well over the years in terms of building it into a community sport. We know it's the #1 participation sport in New Zealand right now. We've got more kids playing football than anything else. We've done pretty well internationally. In 1982 and 2010, everyone will remember the great successes. But football can be much more than that. So first of all, we've got to get people to realise just how big football is. We all know it's the #1 participation sport in the world, as well as New Zealand. There's something like 265 million people in the world playing football. There's more people refereeing in football than people in New Zealand. And right now, the top 10 trade partners in New Zealand all play football. Next year, we're going to have a great opportunity to demonstrate this. We've got the FIFA Under-20 World Cup on these shores. We're really excited about what this can do for the country, but more importantly, what it can do to demonstrate just how powerful football can be in New Zealand.
New Zealand football now has a fully ratified high-performance strategic plan. This plan, beyond football, sets a future direction for elite football in New Zealand. It's a very ambitious plan, it's an exciting plan, and it's a plan that, when implemented, will transform the high-performance side of the game in this country. To get to this point, New Zealand football went through a consultation process with a wide range of stakeholders within the football community here in New Zealand. We have a plan now that has a series of objectives structured under 5 key pillars. Those pillars are player development. We have to define what sort of player we need to produce at international level, and then we have to provide those players with the pathways and the opportunities to be successful in the game. The second pillar of the high-performance strategic plan is competitions. We need to implement a competition structure that supports the needs of the players here in New Zealand. From there, we need to invest in resources. We need facilities for elite and international teams. We need the right people in the right places to implement the plan. Of course, we need additional streams of revenue. The fourth pillar is coach development. We need to expand our pool of elite international coaches. We need to drive up coaching qualifications and coaching standards in the game. And we need to provide coaches with full-time coaching opportunities so they can ply their trade here in New Zealand. The final pillar is strategic partnerships. So wrapped around the previous 4 pillars is the need to develop strategic partnerships with both football and non-football organisations here in New Zealand and throughout the world. Those organisations such as FIFA, OFC, High Performance Sport New Zealand, government, overseas clubs, other countries, we need to develop partnerships with them to enable us to reach our international goals.
What excites me about the plan going forward is the fact that it's going to produce more players for the national team, for the All Whites, putting in place a clear pathway for all our young players. You know, players coming through will have a clear idea of the stages that they're going to need to progress through, and ultimately this will provide great dividends for us going forward.
The purpose of launching this high-performance strategy for New Zealand football is to make sure we have success now, but then also in the future. So we want to be a country that's producing top players, year after year, so we can have success every World Cup, every Olympic Games, and having a plan in place will help us do that.
The plan also involves improving relationships with teams overseas and making sure we've got a clear pathway and a better pathway for our players to go and experience overseas environments that can improve their development. So relationships are key. Player development and coach development are all areas that this plan will give us a massive boost for improving the game in New Zealand.
The expectations of a true high-performance environment would provide some fundamentals. First of all, in terms of training for players, there would be a consistent methodology spread over a season-long period, over a number of years, so that the players can adapt and learn and apply what they've learned over a consistent time frame. That would be allied to a consistent competition base, where they get a chance to test what they've learned on a regular basis in a competitive environment. This would be underpinned by having the best players with the best players, and those obviously supported by the best coaches. In the coaching environment, that means that there has to be regular work in terms of periodization, clear planning, checking of that planning, and then a review, and both in terms of effectiveness of their coaching expertise.
In the long term, we'll be producing teams that are winning at World Cups, winning at Olympic Games, more players going into top professional environments. These things take time. You don't just produce world-class players overnight or world-class coaches. You need to have the right systems and processes in place to produce them. It will take a while for the benefits to really be seen, but I think we'll see some in the short term, but definitely a lot more in the long term.
I want to make history with New Zealand. I want to go to a World Cup. I want to win at the World Cup. I want to make sure that we do it in a certain manner and we play a certain style of football that the people in New Zealand are proud of, for us to put something in place that will last for a very long time, and most importantly, to allow our young players coming through to have a real strong pathway and a real strong opportunity to keep developing and growing football in this country.
Direct success in football brings us dollars. If we qualify for the World Cup, that can bring us something like $10 million US right away back into football in this country. Clearly, it'll bring a lot of pride to the country, transcending the sport. We've seen that before. But it'll open up a lot of doors in terms of profile. For example, it'll give us the opportunity to bring strong trade and enterprise delegations to New Zealand and also take them overseas off the back of the football, which will help us from a New Zealand Inc. point of view. It'll bring, with FIFA's partners like UNICEF, real positives into the country for things like health, education, diversity, things that we can really benefit with if we get football right.
Success for the high-performance plan is about putting in place what it takes to consistently win at the FIFA World Cup and at the Olympic Games. It's about using this success for the betterment of football in this country and to inspire New Zealand and New Zealanders.